February 7th, 2013. I'm going to talk today about Minnesota winters. I was at a job today, and across the street they had built a snow sculpture. It was a big horse. I mean a big horse. It was bigger than I've seen. It was the size like of a Volkswagen. It was huge. I'll try to post it up on Facebook here. But what drove me just to think of things that went through my head before I moved up. When you live in Oklahoma and the South, you think of north, way north. Minnesota was way north. I got, I wouldn't say harassed, but I really wanted to know why I would move to Minnesota. My first thought at that time was Minnesota, 15-foot snow drifts, Arctic type of conditions. So it was really unknown, because it's not true. It's not the way it is. In Oklahoma, they have really mild, I wouldn't say mild winters, but mild winters compared to up here. It does get pretty frigid cold. There's a lot of wind, so the wind is really nipping and chilly. When it does snow, that I remember in Oklahoma, it only lasts for a couple, 3 days, and it melts off, and that's it. It doesn't stick around for weeks and months at a time. One of the times I remember when it snowed real heavy, when we lived in Oklahoma City, off at 26th there were some train tracks, and the snow had blown across the field and had piled and made a pretty heavy drift, and it really packed in pretty good that we could dig a tunnel from the top down and come out the side. I remember that distinctly. And that was the most snow that I remember ever having, but it was just, I think, the condition of being able to drift across the field and fill in pretty deep, probably 6-8 feet deep, and just wide. So, but it was pretty fun. Like I said, the other times just snow, a couple 3 inches, but it would it'd warm up and melt away. Now here in Minnesota, it's a different story. It comes about, as I say, the first shot of snow is around Thanksgiving, and usually it's always it's 99.9% chance it's going to be a white Christmas. There's always snow on the ground by then. This winter's been pretty cold. Not really as much snow. Even in January, I remember seeing grass is starting. You can see the patches of grass that would warm up enough that they would melt some, so it wouldn't cover. Now it's pretty much snow covered everywhere, because it had snowed this last week, about every other day. It's supposed to snow again this weekend, so preparing for that. When we moved up north to up by Duluth, we bought the acreage and moved up there. That first winter was a record that it had snowed over that winter, over 10 feet of snow. Not all at one time, but over the winter it had snowed and snowed and snowed, and we hadn't bought a snowblower, so shoveled the driveway out many times by hand, and it was a pretty good drive to get out to the road. I remember a farmer up the road, Raveles, would come down, and he'd have his tractor, and our driveway had a small dip where the ditch was. He had to drive down and up into the property, so it would drift across the field, and there was pretty much of a block there of trees, so it wasn't too bad. But when it snowed real heavy, it did fill in quite a bit there, so it was kind of a challenge to get in and out. but overall survived quite well. I remember the creeks would freeze up. It'd get so cold that that we'd go down, because we used to dip out of the creek quite a bit. There's little falls there, and we could bust a big enough chunk of hole through the ice to bring up some water. So we needed to wash the car or whatever. We had access to running water year round. But I remember the one time, and too bad I didn't take pictures, but it was fascinating that it had, this must have been early spring, that had flooded and then froze. So the floodwaters came up about, I'm going to say at least, because I could crawl underneath the ice, at least 5 feet, and then it froze. It got so cold that there was a layer of ice. So once the water receded, you could see underneath the sheets of ice. It was really quite fascinating. That was unique. Out of the 10 years, it's the one time I did that, but it was just very, very unusual. It was like a strange planet, so to speak. But I remember in the winter, when it could get really cold, you could hear not only the creek cracking, because we had 3 creeks running through the place, that the ice would freeze over and crack, but you could hear the trees cracking. They say that it does get cold enough that wood does split, but I remember distinctly just laying in bed at night, and you can hear cracks echo down the creekways. Memories. One of the other things I remember when I first moved here, because I wasn't used to the snow, so I got used to having to shovel, and it didn't seem to bother me too much. But one of the things that was just kind of a shock to the system, because your mind, for years perceives things this way, and then one of the first times that it had snowed, that first winter, that it snowed pretty heavy, and we went to town, and then there was kids that were out on the playground playing in the snow. And I don't remember ever having that in Oklahoma, so it was kind of a shock. Your mind had to perceive it as being normal, because it was just you never see anything for the first time or something like that your mind has to comprehend and digest it and say, it's normal. They let the kids all out, preschool, all out and playing recess in the snow like that was just mind-blowing. It was really something else. But Minnesota has a lot of winter sports. I have yet 30 years I've been here, gone ice fishing. I still say, keep telling myself I'm going to one of these times, but never have. Snowmobiling, I haven't done that either. So I don't know what's with me. I can't call myself a true Minnesotan if you've never been snowmobiling or ice fishing. So I'm gonna have to do that before it gets too late. I'm gonna leave you with a Black Sabbath song called Snowblind. I really liked the song at the time, but it was off of the import CD. It was hard to find, but Snowblind, Black Sabbath, February 7th, 2013.